home run. That's a home run. That's a home run. Legend just hit his first home run. Yay, and the crowd goes crazy. The crowd goes crazy for Manny. Legend X Manny. The crowd just went crazy. Yes.
Big salute to all of my veterans out here. Big shout out to all of my subscribers. Man, I can't go a video without telling you guys how much I appreciate you. I thank you for watching my videos. So in this video, let's talk about freight brokering versus freight dispatching. You know, I get this question quite often. Hey Manny, is a freight broker the same as a freight dispatcher? So to answer that question for clarity for you guys out here, I know there's a lot of people that want to become freight brokers, but you might not understand dispatch and vice versa. I'm going to recommend for you guys to learn both and do both. You know, attack them both simultaneously so that you can start making money off of brokering and dispatching. But in this video, I'm going to break it down to you. So is a dispatcher and a freight broker basically the same? The answer is no. And I'm going to share with you guys on the whiteboard and break it down to you on why the answer is no. So let's start out on the freight broker side. So basically, who is the freight broker working for? Who is the freight broker's customer? Basically, the freight broker's customer are shippers. The freight broker will be going to shippers to help them move their freight out to their customer. And by helping them out, the freight broker is going to broker that freight out to a trucking company and basically make profit off of whatever that load paid. So if that load pays $1,000, that freight broker can broker that load out to a trucking company for $800, and then the freight broker will make $200 off the transaction. So let's roll off into the dispatching side. Who's the customer or the client for freight dispatchers? The customer and client for freight dispatchers is carriers and trucking companies. Trucking companies are going to start up their business, and a lot of trucking companies are not going to take the time out to learn how to dispatch. So they're going to depend on dispatchers to basically help them out. And basically that dispatcher is going to take that trucking company on as a client, get on the load board, build relationships to make sure that those trucks have loads. So a dispatcher is working for a trucking company and helping them find loads on a day-to-day basis. And how the dispatcher get paid is basically by charging the owner operators a certain percentage. So like I told you guys, let's just go back for that example of $1,000 load. You as a dispatcher could book that load right now for $1,000, and let's say you charge 8% for dispatching service. That means you just made $80 out of that load for just booking that load. So we'll touch on a little bit more about how to get paid once we get to pretty much invoicing. Let's talk about what does it take to get started as a freight broker. So what it takes to get started as a freight broker is, of course, you need your LLC EIN number. That's the first thing. But the most important thing is you're going to have to get your authority. And once you get your authority, you're going to need to get a $75,000 surety bond. And also you're going to need to get a BOC3. And that's what it's going to take to get your actual freight brokerage started. Now, what is it going to take to get your dispatching company started? It's just going to take an LLC EIN number and hustle. You know, it's not going to take an authority BOC3 or a $75,000 surety bond. Freight brokers have to pay more money to get their business up and going versus the dispatching side. So that's why a lot of people like to dispatch, because it only takes an LLC and hustle, you know, to get everything going. It don't take a surety bond. It don't take an authority. You know, as freight dispatchers, you're going to be using that carrier's authority to dispatch for them on the load board. So what is it going to take to acquire basically your customer and your clients on the freight broker side? To start acquiring shippers on the freight broker side, it's going to take cold calling. So you guys are going to have to start doing research on different shippers and manufacturers out here and just get on the phone, start cold calling them, especially once you get your authority and everything gets activated. You could start cold calling up shippers and letting them know that you're a freight broker to see if they need your assistance, right? So that's going to be the way that you're going to acquire your customers and your clients, by cold calling, by emailing, by walking into some of these shippers. Both of these will take hustle and determination too, because you do have to get out there and acquire, your customer and your client. What is it going to take on the dispatching side? It's going to take for you to start advertising, marketing, and promoting your business, whether it's through social media, Facebook, Instagram, running paid ads, going to truck stops. You got to get out there and do what you have to do so that you can start acquiring owner operators. Maybe you guys might already know somebody in your family, that you could potentially dispatch for. How do you get paid as a freight broker? So freight brokers get paid by invoicing the shipper. Whoever is paying us the money, we want to send them an invoice. But majority of freight brokers will go through a factoring company. So let's just say if you don't want to go through a factoring company as a freight broker, just invoice the shipper directly for payment. So if that shipper told you that he or she is going to pay you $1,000 for that load, then once you complete that load, invoice the shipper so that the shipper can cut the check for that $1,000 to you in your business name. How do you get paid as a freight dispatcher? Like I say, you're getting paid from the person that you're performing the service for, right? So as a freight dispatcher, you're going to invoice the trucking company or the carrier that you are dispatching for. So the way that you're going to get paid, like I said, you're going to charge a certain percentage as a dispatcher. So basically we can call that your dispatching service fee. So if you're charging 8% and you just booked a load for that $1,000, you're going to make $80. And this is per load. This is not going to be for the whole week. You're going to be dispatching multiple trucks on a day-to-day basis. You're going to be dispatching multiple loads every day. So those $50, those $100 is going to start adding up during the week, and you're going to be invoicing the trucking company directly. So which one is more time consuming? By me doing both, being a freight broker and a dispatcher, I'm going to say that freight brokering is less time consuming, because what's happening is you're getting the loads from the shippers, and as long as you're getting the load for a good price, it's too easy to put it on the load board and broker that load out in 5 to 10 minutes. But as a freight dispatcher, it just all depends on what type of trucks are you dispatching for. I'm going to make a future video basically talking about the different types of trucks to dispatch for and how time consuming each truck can be. But just know that dispatching is going to be a little bit more time consuming, because you do have to be eyes on that load board, scanning it, always refreshing that load board to get the best load out here. So real quick, just a quick breakdown on the difference between freight brokering and freight dispatching. Which one would I recommend? I'll recommend to learn both of them. I'll recommend to learn and start both. It's nothing like making money off of different entities in this trucking industry. And being a freight broker and a freight dispatcher, it kind of goes hand in hand. But like I'm telling you guys, it's two separate businesses out here, So real quick breakdown, man. If you guys have any questions, hit me on my text message, 317-953-8943. Go visit my website, www.extraordinarymovement.com. Go get you 30-day free trial with DAT. Go sign up with TAFS, Trans Am Financial Services, if you guys are looking for a factoring service. Also, if you guys are freight brokers looking for a factoring service, go sign up with Axel Payments. Everything in the description box below. If you guys are looking for any trainings over freight broker and dispatching, if you guys are looking for a mentor to help you out in this trucking industry, feel free to contact me. Like I say, hit me on my text message. Let me leave you guys with this.
CEO, commit, execute, and be obsessed.
CEO,
everybody be great out there.
Commit, execute, and be obsessed. Everybody be great out there.